This is my persona, who I've named Sunny, not to be confused with my persona, Rose. I've had both of them represent my channel for basically the whole time I've been on YouTube, but something's wrong. Is it the fact that I made two personas for one person, that person being me? Or maybe it's because the whole point of a persona is that it's supposed to represent yourself. But I always thought of Sunny as their own entity separate from me as a person altogether. Regardless, for my next trick, I will make Sunny disappear. Wait, what? Because you know what they say, new year, new me? Or something like that. And I hope I never have to do this ever again. Hi, I'm Rose, also known as Day by Day Creates on YouTube. And I probably shouldn't be surprised that Sunny doesn't feel like my persona to me. In hindsight, they had a completely different name. I never asked you guys to call me Sunny, it was always hi, I'm Rose. You know, the first draft of this video script was long and unnecessarily complicated, filled with exclusively giving people reasons on why I should continue with this total design change. As I was rereading, it kind of felt desperate for the people watching to let me go through with these changes, as if I wasn't the only person who could possibly be in charge of that. But now I realize that the only reason I really need is, I don't think this design represents me as a person anymore, or even possibly at all in the first place. And I just hope that most people get the idea, you know? With all that cleared up, I have the rest of this video to talk about how I designed this new persona I've come up with here. That's what this whole video is supposed to be about, after all. I first thought of the idea to redesign my persona in late September of 2025. Well, really, the idea was more like, I want to combine my two personas because there's two of them, and you can't really tell that this is supposed to be the same person, and I don't want this to be a problem anymore. This lasted a couple of months, with each iteration getting less and less attached to the initial combining two personas idea than the last. One time I was in a voice call drawing Rose wearing the cloak Sunny had on. One time I woke up in the middle of the night to draw Rose with cool as fuck glasses. At some point I was considering going back to how I drew myself back in 2023. It was simpler back then, I'll tell you that. What's funny is that something that remains oddly consistent in all the new design is that I have a clown nose now. This is because I stay silly. And I know how to do that. The reason I'm able to make this video at all is that I was actually able to settle on a design, and there were three ideas that had just got together perfectly to form the basis for my new persona design. Thing number one, this specific render of Taranza from Kirby Air Riders inspired me to draw the mouth of my persona in the way that I do now. I was drawing this large Kirby Air Riders drawing for a future video, and when I pulled up the reference image for Taranza, I just knew that this would change the way I would draw myself. I just don't know how it was going to change things, but you will see it soon enough. Thing number two, while I was trying out different silhouettes for the new persona, I ended up coming up with this fun little paintbrush accessory that I figure I can use to make drawing with my persona just a little more interesting. But funnily enough, the thing that prompted me to make the final change that really makes this new persona is stealing character design decisions from my Minecraft character from over a year ago? First things first. Who let me do this? That yellow top was supposed to be in overalls. Sneakers with no socks? Socks added later, as an afterthought? The bat ears looked more like cat ears than bat ears, but the fact is, designing me was the first time where I drew myself as a bat-human hybrid, and I loved it clearly. So now, I'm going to make my persona part bat, because bats are cool as fuck. And like myself, they are also nocturnal. Also, they can fly and I could do that as well, so that's convenient. For the outfit I chose, I think I might have mentioned this in the Grand Return video. Grand Return? Yeah, right. But like, I only wear t-shirts and shorts. Sometimes I'll wear some kind of sweater, or even a long-sleeved pants. Perhaps a jacket if it's cold, but I'm usually just wearing a t-shirt, so that's what I'm going to draw myself wearing this time around. You guys mind if I go on a tangent about the paintbrush? I want to go on a tangent about the paintbrush. You wouldn't know just by looking at it, but there was actually a lot of thought put into this paintbrush. I came up with the idea to hold a paintbrush when I was experimenting with different silhouettes, not even knowing that I was about to draw my new persona yet at this point. And in a rare moment of brilliance, I just came up with the large paintbrush dripping paint right on the spot, right there. It's really fun, just like making it drip drop all over the place. Fun shape that I think is not not very utilized a lot of the time. Also, I wanted to include a rose in the design somewhere, because I want the fact that Rose is my name to be at least like indicated somewhere, so I put a yellow rose on a ribbon wrapped around the paintbrush. I made it yellow because yellow roses represent like friendship or something. I also considered adding a name tag on the shirt at some point, but I think it's easier to draw without the name tag, so I'll keep it without the name tag for now. Maybe I'll come back to it, who knows? I like how customizable this design is in general. I can change so many things, like the paint that I mentioned earlier. I could change its color, also the t-shirt color if I wanted to, or even if I want to put like a pattern on it. The socks as well if I wanted to like match or something. The rose ribbon, and more. And this design's so drawable too, by my standards. There's so many drawings I've made in the last couple of weeks, like... Hold on, dear viewer. I'm getting a call. Hello? Isn't there something you forgot to tell your viewers about? What, telling everyone to like and subscribe? Or something? No. What, the Blue Sky account? Not quite. My second channel? Didn't you set up a VGen account recently? Shouldn't that be ready by now? Oh yeah! I'm taking commissions on my newfangled VGen account. I hope that I've set it out by the time this is posted, but I've been trying to become financially independent recently, and this feels like a huge step in the right direction. I got profile picture commissions, chibis, your character here's, and even an illustration commission slot. Note that the prices are going to be a little higher up than I imagine most people's first time commission prices would be. I don't want to get flooded with commission requests right away, as I also would like to spend a good chunk of my time working on the videos you see right now. For that same reason, slots are also pretty limited. Go check out my VGen page and see if anything catches your eye. I just want to get paid, man. Thumbs up emoji. Now back to our regularly scheduled content. There's so many drawings that I've made in the last couple of weeks, like this one I made of my little bat form, desperately clinging onto the paintbrush, just trying to get somewhere. I would be really proud of it, maybe even put it in my VGen portfolio, if I didn't mess up the composition early on. In my point of view, I wanted the paintbrush to be like visibly weighing me down, and the way I chose to show that was like having the paintbrush lean down and stuff, but unfortunately when I changed it, it threw everything off, and I didn't even notice until I had already done the line art and colors for everything. There were still some details like the billboards that weren't done yet, but I finished it up just so it could be done. They just let anyone buy a billboard these days, don't they? Here's this cute little Christmas drawing where I'm hiding under a Christmas wreath. I always love a good Christmas wreath. I saw one with a big ribbon on Pinterest or like Google Images that inspired me to draw all this. I did struggle to place myself into the scene a little, almost doing something like the first drawing at first. But this time, I figured it out. And it all worked out in the end, I hope. Totally not recording this before it's actually done. The last drawing I'll show for today is this drawing, made fittingly for New Year's. In order to make it really clear to myself and also everyone else, I guess, that this is the persona I'm gonna use from now on, I wanted to draw something that really communicated this idea. So what I did was have my new design be front and center and moving forward and stuff, while Sunny is just lying in the dirt, lying in the dust, 6 feet under the ground. No worries though, they won't be discontinued entirely. They've just been downgraded from persona to just another OC, you know? You know how 30 seconds ago I said that Sunny wasn't actually being killed but more like replaced? I felt the need to make this funeral for them anyway. Get your mourning out now, you know. Guys, change is scary. For the month or two leading up to this upload, while I was like fumbling around with the script or something, I was just going back and forth between keeping things the same and going through with all this. I couldn't get any progress in on this video until I had made a concrete and final decision. And in all honesty, at first, I was going to let other people decide that for me. But if I did that, you wanna know what would have happened? I would have gotten comments from people on both sides of this decision, either wanting me to stay or wanting me to keep doing the thing. And then I would have gotten even more conflicted, knowing that I was going to disappoint someone either way. So I just took things into my own hands, you know? With that out of the way, I hope you guys, like, understand that, you know? Because, like, I just hope everyone's alright with that, right? That's the thing. Because I'm fine with things the way they are, but, like, I don't know. I've just been unusually nervous about audience reaction or something. But I did get a comment on a community post. I was like, yeah, I'm fine if you change this. So I'm like, yeah, people are probably fine. So I'll just go through with the thingy. Thanks for watching. I know I've barely posted in the second half of 2025, but that's mostly the fault of how much I was doing during Art Fight this year. But now with this newly renewed free time, I've gotten the video uploading schedule to in an ideal world, I could get that down to weekly posts, but it'll have to do for now. For now, this has been Rose, and I hope I never have to do this ever again!